Hi, I'm Colin. Welcome to Learn Somatics. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to correct or resolve a twisted pelvis. We're going to use a series of somatic movements that are actually going to bring you more into your twist so that you can start to then come back out of your twist. That's the trick. Instead of trying to pull yourself out of the twist, you bring yourself into it even more than you're already at the moment, and then you have the option to come back out of it. So let's explore how this is done. So to begin, just lay out flat on your back. Now, if you have a twisted pelvis, you're going to be able to feel it. So from laying on your back, just pay attention and notice if you can feel the twist of your pelvis when you're laying flat. If the pelvis is twisted, it's going to feel like one side of your hip is pressing more down into the floor and the other side will feel a bit lifted up. So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to assume your pelvis is twisted to the right a little bit. If your pelvis is twisted to the left, just do the opposite of what I'm doing here. So to begin addressing this, what you're going to do is you're going to press your right hip more down into the floor, like so. So now I'm pressing my right buttock into the table. And you'll find when you do that, it brings you more into your twist. You'll feel your left hip lifts up a little. And from there, just slowly let that relax back to rest. And you'll notice as you do that, that pressing your hip down and going more into your twist, it makes your head want to turn. When you press your right hip down, left hip comes up, let your head turn to the left. So you're going into your twist. And you can even press your left shoulder down a little bit, and that will help you press your right hip down a little bit. So we're going into our twist on purpose so that we can slowly relax back out of it, like so. All right, so let's just do that on its own a couple of times. Pressing the right hip down, left hip lifts a little bit, press the left shoulder down, turn the head to the left. And really press that right hip down so you get that twist in your pelvis. You've got to go into it so you can come out of it. And then slowly relax back to rest. And repeat that just one more time. Press the right hip down, left hip will lift up, press the left shoulder down, turn the head to the left. We're going into our twist on purpose so that we can choose to come out of it and back to rest. And just take a moment and see if even just doing that has leveled or softened the twist a little bit in your pelvis. So moving on, bring the legs to bent. So we're going to cross our left leg over our right. And when you do this, you'll notice that this action of crossing the legs also twists the pelvis or tilts the pelvis a little bit. So now I can feel the weight on the back of my right pelvis. Okay, so we're going to arch our back in this cross-legged position, like so. So we're arching into our twist. And you can even let your head turn a little bit to the opposite direction, in this case to the left, and press your head down into the floor. This is going to create more of a twist, and it's also going to allow you to make the whole thing more complete. And then just slowly relax back to rest. So keeping the legs crossed, roll into your arch, feel how it favors your twist, turn your head, press the head back, and then slowly relax back to rest. Let's do that one more time. Arching the lower back, turning the head the opposite direction, pressing the head down, pressing the back of the hip down, and then slowly relaxing, feeling yourself relax out of your twist. Now staying in this position with the legs crossed, we're going to hike our hips up and down. So you're going to draw your, let's say from the left, draw your left hip up towards your left armpit. You'll feel the waist shorten on this side, and slowly release, and then draw your right hip up towards your right armpit, and then slowly release, and go back and forth like this. So you're just sort of wiggling your hips up and down in this cross-legged position. So you're in your twists now, and you're going up and down. This is just going to help to release all of the muscles that are keeping you in that twist by doing it in the twist. Let's do that a couple of times, up and down. Right hip swings up, left hip wiggles up. And you see my head is tipping left and right as well, that's fine. Do that too. Add that to it. Let your head move, and that's going to help you hike your hips more easily. All right, and back to rest. From here, we're going to keep our cross leg position again. Now we're going to really emphasize the twist. So allow your hips and your knees to tip even further into this twist. So in this case, over to the right. You feel how this really twists your pelvis now. All the weight is on the back and the right side of my pelvis. My left side of my pelvis is rolling up. And then from here, just slowly bring it back to the table, to the floor. And again, we're tipping into our twist, rolling the pelvis to the right. And then slowly coming back to the start position. So we're going into our twist, tipping the pelvis to the right so that we can come out of our twist. Like so. And you don't need to do it that many times before you'll start to feel it's changing. And then come on back. All right. Now, keeping your legs in this position, we're going to tip our pelvis the other way now. So we're going the opposite direction, and the weight of your leg will help you tip it. So now you're coming out of your twist in a big way, going the opposite direction, and then come back to the start position. Again, do that a couple of times. So tipping to the left now, slowly releasing, back to rest. And again, the weight of the leg helps you to come out of it. The weight of the leg on top of the cross leg, the left one in this case, back to rest. We'll just do that one more time, tipping to the left. And back to the start position. And now a couple of times, tip back and forth with your legs crossed, like so. And notice how it's your trunk that actually does the rolling of the pelvis. Just go as far as you can comfortably to each side. Go nice and slow. And bring yourself back to the middle, out the other side, and then back to middle again. Okay, now uncross your legs and let your legs be straight. And just lay out flat and pay attention to the feeling now of your pelvis on the floor. If you've done that slowly and carefully, you should find that your pelvis feels much more level, or in fact, it may actually feel like it's tipped the opposite way to what you're used to now. That's not unusual. But you should definitely have a sense of a difference in the weight of your pelvis on the floor. It should feel quite different. One last movement. Knees bent, feet flat. Put your feet together for this one. And now we're going to again tip our pelvis left and right, but I want you to keep your legs completely together as you do this. So see, as I turn, my 2 feet stay together. So now my left foot is completely off the floor, off the table, as I turn. So I'm keeping my legs together. So all of this movement of the rotation comes out of my trunk, rolling my pelvis left to right. So by rolling my pelvis or twisting my pelvis left to right, I'm able to find that place in the middle where my pelvis is no longer twisted. So just go back and forth like this a few times. See if you can make it feel even and smooth in both directions and about the same range of motion. Just keeping your knees and your ankles together. Should start to feel like you have equal ability to twist to the left and to the right. Like so. And then back to middle. All right, let the legs be straight, lay out flat, and see how that feels. So now that you've gone both sides with your twist, that should be starting to feel real level through your pelvis. Now that you've completed that exploration, stand up, have a walk around, see how that feels in walking and in moving. Things should feel a lot more balanced now that you've done all that back and forth. If you feel a little bit twisted the other way now, you can just come back, repeat that sequence, doing everything the opposite way around, and you'll be nice and level after you've done both sides. If you enjoyed that sequence, check out my on-demand video classes. There's a link in the description. If you've got any comments, pop them below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.